Right, moving on to so now it's on to our exclusive finally, and that's that Kevin Feige wants Michael Colter back as Luke Cage in the MCU. So this came to me a couple of weeks ago, and I was kind of pressing for more information from this source, and they were able to actually give me a lot of basically a lot of documentation and explanations of backing up what they're saying, and I was actually able to also make sure they were who they said they were, because they said they were very close. They're reportedly very close to Marvel Studios, and I just wanted to make sure that they were working for the company they said they were working for. Right, now that bit's out of the way, they're claiming that Kevin Feige wants Mike Colter back as Luke Cage, and that he might feature in a Moon Knight series, or in the Moon Knight series. So this was interesting because there have been rumors that Luke Cage is actually going to feature in Moon Knight. So there are rumors that Luke Cage and Moon Knight will fight. Actually, that comes from Geekosity. And so when I heard that bit of news, I then went back to the source and said, can you confirm this is true? And they were like, yes. So here's what they said. They said, I'll just put it up on the screen for you guys. So they said, I can't say exactly how it's going to happen, but Luke Cage is going to make an MCU appearance, and Feige wants Colter to come back to play him. So I then went back to them and said, well, did you read what Mike Colter said in an interview back in December with ComingSoon.net? So this is what Mike Colter said. He said, I got to say, I rarely think about it in the sense of what could or will be. I know fans are eager to see something with the character. I know I established him and it was an honor to do that, but I don't know what the future holds. I'm just in my mode of doing evil right now in a few films on hiatus. If something happens, I'd love to have the conversation with them, but for now, I'm not holding my breath. I'm happy either way. It was a good run. So he said that. And that was back in December, remember? And then the source came back to me and said, they said that it's true that Colter hadn't been contacted for the role back in December. However, as they start work on the Moon Knight series, it's become pretty obvious that Luke Cage needs to be involved in the series, and Feige is a fan of Colter's performance in the Marvel Netflix shows. So, this isn't basically... What I'm trying to get at here is that this isn't actually confirming that Mike Colter has been cast. It's just that Kevin Feige wants him, which makes sense to me. It makes sense because Mike Colter is a really good Luke Cage. There've also been the reports that the likes of Charlie Cox, John Bernthal, and Kristen Ritter are all coming back to play the characters they played in the Marvel Netflix shows. The thing is, these characters, they will be basically rebooted versions of the characters they played in those shows, in the sense that they're just not going to mention those shows. So they'll still be playing them the same way. So I've seen a lot of people complaining about that, but I wouldn't worry so much about that. I think that's just, they're just going to basically act as though those shows never happened. The same thing will be done with Mike Colter, with his Luke Cage. He'll just be basically introduced into the MCU in the Moon Knight series, which of course stars Oscar Isaac. Of course, the other actor involved in that is Ethan Hawke, who's going to be playing the villain. So it sounds as though it's going to be Oscar Isaac, Ethan Hawke, and Mike Colter, possibly in more of a cameo appearance than an actual main part in the show. But let me know what you guys think about that. Is that something you'd like to see? Let me know in the comments below. Right, moving on.